Alright guys, so this first card is a Cyber Eternity Dragon. He's a fusion monster, as you can tell. It's a level 10 light machine fusion, and it's a with 2,800 attack and 4,000 defense. And the materials you use is 1 Cyber Dragon and 2 machine monsters. So basically, this can help out a what's it called? This basically is a support for Cyber Dragons, which is awesome. So basically, its effect says if you have a machine fusion monster or monsters in your graveyard, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this fusion summon card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card, you can special summon 1 Cyber Dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard this turn. Your opponent cannot target fusion monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So what does this mean? This means that, what's it called? This means that basically any fusion monster that you control, that they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So this is really good if you're playing like Fluffle Cyber Dragon or something with Cyber Dragons, like pure Cyber Dragons or something. This will actually come in handy because this will just let you go off, and then after you can just link summon into that main Cyber Dragon everyone is playing. This is actually a really good support card. I think this is also going to boost up Cyber Dragons because Cyber Dragons is, I believe, they're anti-meta right now. But because we're going to get this card and it's going to be easier for summoning, then I believe this card will enter the meta. And this is coming out actually like in a couple months or so. But this is a really good card to play in actually. And the next card that we're going to be talking about is actually support for Blackwings. We haven't seen Blackwings in a while. They're getting a new synchro. So basically this synchro is called Blackwing Full Armor Master. So I believe this guy has probably the better effect than Armor Master, Blackwing Armor Master. But this guy says Full Armor Master. But let's talk about this. So this guy's a level 10 Dark Winged Beast Synchro with a 3,000 attack and 3,000 defense. He requires 1 Blackwing tuner. Obviously, they need tuners and 1 non-tuner. So basically, this is from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds era. So his effect is he is unaffected by other cards' effects. Each time a monster your opponent controls activates its effect, place 1 wedge counter on that opponent's monster, maximum 1, after that card resolves. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls with a wedge counter. Take control of it. Once per turn, during your end phase, you can destroy all monsters on the field that have a wedge counter. So this guy, I believe, is almost going to be turning out to be like a nuke of some sort because basically, right now during the meta, everyone's just activating this effect. Everyone's activating hand traps because hand traps is considered monster effects. But you cannot. The struggle is about this. I think it's going to be struggling with what I was saying. Sorry, excuse my language or. Excuse my grammar. What I'm saying is that it's not going to be able to hit hand traps, but it is going to be able to hit like monster effects and stuff like that. Basically, it can basically go around Gokis. It can basically fight Trickstar. It can basically fight whatever. And then during the end phase or something like that, you could just wipe those monsters that have counters. That's a really good card, and a lot of good plays can come out from that situation. So guys, believe it or not, Mai is finally gonna get some support cards. Thank God, thank God for Mai. So okay, so going off with these cards look really beautiful and stuff. So going off first with the left one, the pink one, that is a Harpie Perfumer. She is the level 4 Wind, obviously Winged Beast effect monster with 1,400 attack and 1,300 defense. And basically, the effect says you can only use this card's name twice per turn. This card's name becomes Harpie Lady while it's on the field or in the graveyard. That's its first effect. And the second says, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 spell or trap card that specifically lists the card named Harpie Lady Sisters from your deck to your hand. If you activate this effect while you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, you can add up to 2 of those cards with different names instead. And now we're going to talk about the second card, which is called Harpie Oracle. Level 4, Wind, Winged Beast, so basically the attack and defense are different. The blue one's attack is 1,300, and the defense is 1,400. Same thing effect is you can only use this card's name 2 and 3 effects once per turn each. And this card names becomes Harpie Lady while it's on the field or in the graveyard. The second effect also says, if you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then the third one also says, if this card is normal or special summon, you can activate this effect during the end phase of this turn. Add one spell or trap card that specifically lists the name Harpie Ladies Sisters from your graveyard to your hand. So basically, they're getting new support cards. I'm happy about that. And there's actually more support cards I want to talk about, but this is good because you could just keep on switching their names. And basically, this is it's more going to be more of a spam deck. So basically, we're going to be seeing Harpie Ladies come back in action, and then we're also going to be seeing more outplays from other people. Not outplays, actually, we might be seeing more Harpie Ladies coming in because the recent ban list, I'm not really sure, but maybe there can be other people like playing more of the Harpie Lady decks and stuff. I'm not really sure about it, but I know one of my friends plays Harpie Ladies. He's gonna probably enjoy the deck because he wanted to build it, but we don't have that Harpie Lady duster anymore, sadly. But we have something that can work like that, and we'll see how that goes. So okay, so on to the next cards. Alright, so next they also have spell and they also have a trap card. So basically, their spell card says, split, well, they're basically, the name of the spell card says Split Mirrors of Seduction. It's a continuous spell card, and the effect says, you can only use this card's, 1 and 2 effects once per turn each. The OCG lettering is really weird for this. But so the first effect is when a Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters you control is destroyed by battle, you can special summon one Harpie monster with a different original name from your deck. And then the second part says if this card on the field is destroyed by an opponent's card effect or your Harpie card effect, target one Harpie monster in your graveyard and special summon it, or just special summon it. And then for the trap card, the trap card is called the Elegant Harpie Lady. It's a normal trap card. So it also says you can only use the effects once per turn each. The first effect says return one Harpie Lady Sisters you control to the graveyard. Then you can special summon 3 Harpie monsters with different names, one each from your hand, deck, and graveyard. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except wind monsters. And then the second effect says if this card on the field is destroyed by your opponent's card effect or your Harpie card effect, add one Harpie monster from your deck to your hand. So basically what this says is so the spell card it's like you target one Harpie monster in your graveyard and you special summon it, and the trap card lets you add a Harpie from your deck to your hand. So that's a really good. Your trap is basically a searcher, and for the rest of the turns except wind monsters for that trap card, basically you could just special summon like a Great Fly, the Link monster that gains like 500 attack, 500 defense. But most of the time they're going to be all wind monsters, I bet. These two are really good cards addition, but you can only use their effects once per turn each. It's a really good card. I believe you could probably use, maybe you can activate a trap, and then you can activate another trap, and basically use one of each of their effects. That would be really cool if you were to be able to do that, but I don't know the proper ruling for those cards. But those cards are probably going to be really, really interesting when they come out, especially for Harpie Lady players out there. Alright, and then we got also some new spell or trap cards revealed. So the first card on the left, aka the spell card, the one that has the pot of greed on it, rip, is the Pot of Indulgence. It's a normal spell card, obviously. So its effect says, at the start of your main phase 1, banish either 3 or 6 of your face down extra deck cards randomly, face down. Draw 1 card for every 3 cards you banished. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot draw cards with card effects. And the trap, which is a Dark Factory of Increased Production. It's a continuous trap card. You can only use this card's name or effect once per turn. So basically, it's a sell one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard to draw 1 card. And then we have another trap card. So let me pull it up right now. Okay, there you go. So basically this trap card, I think this is a really, really good card. It's called Witch's Strike. It's a normal trap card. It should be a counter trap card, to be honest. But basically the effect says, if your opponent negated the normal or special summon of a monster, or if your opponent negated the activation of a card or effect, destroy all cards your opponent controls and have in their hand. I bet you, when this card comes out, this card is going to be banned, or not banned actually. It's probably either going to be limited or it's going to be semi-limited, because that's a really good card. Because let's say your opponent was to activate like a Solemn Strike or something. I don't know if I'm right or something, but you could just activate this card, and that would counter the Solemn. Finally, they made a card to counter Solemn and other cards. That's a really good card in my opinion. I'm definitely going to get that when that comes out. But basically, for the spell, I'm not really a big fan of that because it doesn't really make sense. Banish either 3 or 6 of your face down extra deck cards randomly face down. So basically, you're just banishing random extra deck cards. But the thing is about that, if you think about it, there's some people who will like stack their extra deck. They'd be like, oh, this and that. Like personally, I stack mine. I'd be like, oh, like level 4s go all the way at the back. I move all the way to level 12. So basically, the first 3 cards I'll be banishing because like maybe I might not even be able to pull those out. And then I think that's how people are going to be able to do it. But you cannot draw cards with card effects so like Upstart Goblin or Pot of Desires won't work, etc., etc. And then the other card, send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard to draw 1 card. That's a really fine card. There's a lot of cards I will like. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, then blah blah blah. That card will specifically help them out for those type of decks actually. Alright, and then we got actually 6 new Shiranui cards. So Shiranui, it's a zombie archetype. If you guys don't know what Shiranuis are, but I'm really happy that these guys also are getting supports. These guys are fire monsters, and so basically, the first one on the left, Shiranui Sensei, he's a level 2 fire zombie effect monster with attack of 600 and the defense of 0. And his effect reads, you can only use this card's name and effect once per turn each. First effect is, if this card is in your graveyard and you control 2 or more Shiranui monsters with different names, you can special summon this card but banish it if it leaves the field. And then the second effect is, if this card is banished, you can target 1 zombie monster you control, it gains 600 attack until the end of this turn. And then we got the other one, Shiranui Spirit Tallest, I think that's how you say it. Level 4 fire zombie effect monster with attack of 1500 and the defense of 0. I believe all Shiranuis have 0. So basically the effect is also you can only use this card's name 1 and 2 effects once per turn each. And the first effect is when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 Shiranui Spectral Sword monster from your hand or deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except zombie monsters. And the second effect is if this card is banished, you can draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. So basically, these 2 cards are really good. So basically when they get banished, they get special effects. So the first one, the Sensei one, so when he gets banished, he basically increases the attack of all your monsters, so of 1 monster, I believe. And the other one makes you give you draw power. So basically, that's really good. And I believe Shiranui, they have a specific type of thing that helps them put your banished cards back into the graveyard or back into your deck. I'm not really sure about that. I don't play Shiranui, but I know it's gonna. I know a lot of people would play, like, for me personally, I would play Shiranui Solitaire inside my Skull Servant deck, and it'll be really good to take out Unizombie. So basically, this would be a really good combo to fight with Mizuki, Gozuki, basically those kind of guys. Now next we got some extra deck monsters. So basically the first one on the left, the Synchro, is a Shiranui Spirit Saga. So it's a fire zombie synchro monster, as I said, level 7 with 2100 attack and 0 defense. It needs 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner. So basically its effect is you can only special summon 1 Shiranui Spirit Saga once per turn, and then once per turn you can banish 1 monster from your graveyard or face up from your field. Then you can apply 1 or more of these effects in sequence depending on the kind of card it was. So if it was a zombie type, all monsters you control gain 300. If it was a fire attribute, you destroy 1 spell or trap card on the field. And if it's a synchro monster, you destroy 1 monster on the field. That's not a really bad card. And then the Link monster that we got is a Shiranui Splendid Saga. I never heard of that before. So Link 3 fire Link effect monster with attack of 2300. The Link arrows are top, left, and bottom, and the materials are 2 plus zombie monsters. And basically, the effect is you can only use this card's name's effect once per turn. And the first one is synchro monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. The second one, fire monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. And the third one, during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target 1 of your banished zombie synchro monsters, special summon it to your zone this card points to. So basically, that card is not as bad. A lot of people are probably going to be replacing that new zombie card, Zombie Sorcerer. I doubt it though that they will replace it, and they'll just replace it with this card because all you need is 2 zombie Link monsters. But this is 2 monsters to link summon this monster, actually, the Link monster, and that's a really good card because then it just like basically I don't know how you say it. You just can pop off because this now the link monsters in this meta right now, they're basically going all over the place because right now everyone can just uh extra deck whenever, and then they have ways to protect them, and this could be another way to protect the Shiranuis. And for the synchro, basically if you want to tribute something or get something off on your side of the field, you could just destroy the thing that you needed and it'll be all good and stuff. Alright, and then for the other spell and trap cards I wanted to talk about, so one of them is a quick effect, and the other one I believe is obviously a normal trap card. So basically, the one with the quick effect, quick play, is called Shiranui Story Saga. It's a quick play spell card. As I said before, you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. So basically, its effect is if your opponent controls a monster, discard one zombie monster, special summon one Shiranui monster with a different name from your deck or graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except zombie monsters. That's really good. And your trap is a Shirai, Shirari style skill. That should be Shiranui style skill. It's a normal trap card. You can only use this effect, or both the effects per turn, only once that turn. So the first effect is special summon one zombie monster from your hand, banish it if he leaves the field, and the second one is you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one zombie monster you control. It becomes unaffected by other cards for the rest of this turn. So basically, what, in my opinion, I think that the trap card will help Skull Servants come back, in my opinion, because you can special summon one zombie monster from your hand, but banish it if it leaves the field. So basically, instead of normal or special summoning, you can just special summon it like that, and you can banish this card from your graveyard, and basically you will protect Skull Servant. But this is basically, I believe, for more of a zombie deck, but Skull Servant is zombie. And then the other, the quick play is if your opponent controls a monster. So that wording right there. So only if your opponent controls a monster. So if they don't control a monster, I don't think it would be that good or so. But you could just uh, go whatever what you want, and then you can just special summon one Shiranui monster. If they do have a monster after you discarded one zombie monster, and you send it to the graveyard, and they do like a zombie effect inside the graveyard or so, and then it basically gives you the restriction if you can special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except zombie monsters. But the cool thing is about that is if you're playing a zombie deck, that won't really matter. So that's actually going to help you guys out. And that's a really good card for zombie decks. And I think Shiranui is really stepping it up. Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really stepping it up with these giving support cards that they need and stuff. Alright, last but not least, we actually got some support for TG. I forgot what TG actually stands for, but basically, so the one on the left, the effect monster, that's it's called TG Screw Serpent, the level 4 Water Sea Serpent Tuner effect monster with an attack of 1,300 and a defense of 500. So basically, the effect says you can only use this card's name, 1 and 2 effects once per turn each. And the first effect is if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one level 4 or lower TG monster in your graveyard except TG Screw Serpent, so itself, and special summon it, but its effects are negated. And then the second effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one TG monster you control, have it either gain or lose one level until the end of this turn. And then so now the link 3 that we're talking about, the one next to it is the link monster is the TG Trident Launcher. So it's a link 3 Earth machine link effect monster with an attack of 2,200 with the links bottom left, bottom, and bottom right. The materials is 2 effect monsters including 1 TG tuner. The effect says you can only use this card's name effect once per turn. So basically the first effect says if this card is link summoned, you can special summon 3 TG monsters. Holy crap, guys. One each from your hand, deck, and graveyard to your zones this card points to in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except TG monsters. And the second effect is your opponent cannot target TG synchro monsters this card points to with card effects. Okay, so what does that mean? This means that TG support might be coming back. Well, it is back already, but like Hyper, Librarian, everything like that. And basically, this is a deck that makes you take out your extra deck like ASAP as soon as possible, basically. And it basically lets you go off and summon all these monsters and stuff like that, because like TG Hyper Magician or something lets you draw cards, and then it basically I could just feel like this deck is just gonna go off, and your opponent has to like solemn or something, solemn strike this, and if your opponent can't get rid of that, then they're gonna have a hard time, because most of the TG monsters are really hard to destroy because there's other effects that they can probably pop inside the graveyard. So that's really good. All right, guys. Well, that's it for the video for today. I hope you like. Sorry it took so long. I got really excited that Yu-Gi-Oh was showing new cards and stuff. And if you guys want to, you guys can let me know what you guys think. Comments, feedback. What you think? How you think these cards are gonna help out in the meta? What do you think is gonna be meta relevant? What do you think is gonna be viable all over the place? Comment down below. We would like to hear. Well, I would like to hear from you. You guys can comment, like, and subscribe, support on Patreon, and then we'll see you guys there, alright? Thank you.